The new craze that's sweeping the forums by storm, Googly Eyes. Cav Crystal Compensation update, $60,000 spent in MCOC in 1 month, and much, much more. Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. That's wrong day, isn't it? It's Wednesday. God, you can tell I'm scuffed at the moment. Hello everybody. Hope you're doing well on this fine hump day of the week. Make sure as well to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're trying to push to at least getting 58,000 subscribers, which we're very close to doing, so make sure to do that. And also, you know, check out the second channel, link is in the description down below. Also, a big thank you to those that are supporters of the channel as a YouTube member and as well as a Patreon. I'd like to put your names on screen right now, but as a lot of you know, we've got problems with my editing software, which won't be repaired for another 2 weeks. Sad times, but unfortunately, it is what it is. So yeah, and I'll try and get it like sorted out then, but thank you so much to everybody that is a Patreon and as a YouTube member, and I will get your names back up. It's just in case the PC's got to be repaired. And also those that support over on twitch.tv, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can give a free Twitch sub, and please consider doing that to myself. It would be massively helpful and supportive if you could do that. Thank you. And now, just before this video kicks into action, just to let you know, it is sponsored by this Fez. Fezzy. It's not. This is a joke. Move on. Oh, it's always good to start with a mild joke or whatever. Yeah, in any case, moving on. Now, there's been a lot made of the guillotine buff. A few people mentioned that the bleed damage looks like it's kind of reduced down, but from what I gather, that's not the case. Yes, on paper, comparing the critical hit side of things, 50% for doing 2,680.7 over X amount of seconds, 4.5 seconds, compared with now, which is 35% chance to inflict a bleed debuff, causing 1,737, and it's more if you're going up against an enemy champion that's got buffs. You might gonna go, well, that's like just under 1,000. It's 900. We'll say it's 900 damage, and also the percentage is just not there anymore with the crit doing the bleed. So you're not doing that quite so often. This is where heavy attacks come in. The heavy attack, if you time that in, you do heavy attack and then throw into like an SP1, SP2, whatever takes your fancy. You put a bleed curse on bleed curse debuff on. All opponents with a bleed curse suffer a bleed debuff, causing 2,200 direct damage over 5 seconds each time they're struck with a special attack. So that kind of like helps ramp up that. And it's a different kind of like build. The main thing and the main aspect for this champion is soul charge gaining. And once you build the soul charges up, you're able to do more attack rating damage, which again is going to be where the damage for this champion comes in, as opposed to just relying on the bleeds, which were important then for the process, I think, of building soul charges from the previous build. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, but it definitely feels like there's improvements to guillotine. I've done a full video on this, and that is out on the channel if you do want to check it out. But yeah, it looks good on paper, but a lot of this stuff, it looks good on paper. It's just putting it into motion and trying it to see, is it good enough? Are we going to be using it as main usage in our champs? I'm just quickly putting you in the picture of something that dropped yesterday, and I have done full videos on this stuff, but I just wanted to kind of do like more of a small snippet, kind of like dissection of it. Somebody spent $60,000 on Marvel Contest of Champions in what's claimed to be 1 month. Now, I know a few people have kind of questioned as whether or not this is real or fake. I do find it very strange that both parties would kind of create an elaborate thing and then post it onto, number one, a relationship advice page. That's what the husband did. And kind of was questioning like whether or not, I don't know if it's right if their kind of like husband would do this. And then the second thing was that she then she then posted on a site which was a subreddit which was all about am I the evil one or something, and it was just like, that's kind of weird. I mean, you kind of go like, okay, shouldn't they have just posted this on the Marvel Contest of Champions subreddit if they were familiar with subreddits? But yeah, and then it got to the Sun newspaper in the UK, one of the most disgusting newspapers ever in the world. Yeah, so that's just the thing there. If you want to find out more about that story, there's a full video. But the problem is just the stuff here, like compulsive spender and stuff. It just seems like they're too much of a. It seems like very much kind of gambling addict of some kind. And when situations like this, like she's now given him an allowance to spend. They do very well. They earn a lot of money, which is what it is. If people have got extra income, they can spend it how they like. But at the same time, it's like, man, it's crazy to think that. Apparently they got back $57,000, or I think it was either £57,000 or $57,000 back from Kabam. So if people are going like, oh yeah, well Kabam just lost out on that, that probably pays for one, maybe 1.5 to 2 developers' wages for the year. So anyway, man, it is it's crazy. It is a crazy thing. I honestly, yeah, got to be responsible with these things, ladies and gentlemen. Be responsible with it. Okay, a little bit of an update on something. So something that kind of went like swept under the rug for a good part of the month was that some timers weren't correct. I mean, the story of this thread is indeed Tier 9 Alliance Wars 3-minute fights and 5-minute fights. So it's talking about a discrepancy between the boss node 52 had a 3-minute timer where it should receive a larger timer. Notice that node 22 also had a 3-minute timer but forgot to take note. Node 23 and other boss item fights. This was back on August 20th. And then somebody else posted exactly the same or similar. So back on September 17th, so 5 days ago, someone said they were in a Tier 7 war, still ongoing as of today. Only had 3-minute timer for killing the boss. The mini boss had 5-minute timers. World Eater posted in there. Thanks for playing. So the same thing happened to me on August 24th. I think we were Tier 6 or Tier 7. All other fights were 5 minutes. And then this was brought to the attention of Kabam. Kabam Boo says, "Hi folks, we apologise if you're seeing any discrepancies this time around. Our team is on the case." There's been a few things with Alliance Wars recently that they needed to look into. And I think there's something when it comes to high ground that's being looked into, especially for higher up wars. We talked about that on Monday's news show. And then there's going to be, like, you know, some changes that are going to be done there. So not a great start for the new season of Alliance Wars seasons. But hopefully Kabam can get it sorted in the meantime. Now, I believe it was either Monday or a week ago we talked about the Uncanny Cavalier Crystals being bugged. Players were talking about the wrong champions being put into these, and they were completely surprised because it shouldn't be the case that these Uncanny Crystals should have the pool that they have. We talked about the pool that is meant to have the likes of many mutants, and didn't see those mutants. You can see there. There's a King Groot. There's another King Groot, and there's a Joe Fixit within it. There's a Scarlet Witch. I don't think that's in that as well. Just have a quick scan. No, it doesn't look like it's there. But definitely a lot of the 3-star X-Men friends and foes in there, but not of the ones that were advertised, especially because these were purchased. If you bought anything like some people were buying £150 worth, as we talked about, then you might be left incredibly disappointed with what you got. So what's the update on this whole kind of situation? Well, not really much, except for that players are going, where's the response? Where are we going to get these crystals? Kabam Boo says, "Hi folks, our team is still working out compensation for this and should be able to distribute any valid compensation sometime next week. Please note the crystal itself had been fixed shortly after the issue was discovered. Thank you in advance for understanding and your patience." So, yeah, unfortunately, it looks like you're not going to be receiving it to at least the 27th of September. So that is very disappointing for that. I thought that would be a bit more of a quicker thing to kind of like get sorted, with even like Zano saying here, a 2 to 3 week wait. That's, yeah, the Nexus Cavalier Crystals were just kind of like dealt with more quickly. I don't know if, like, I get the feeling sometimes maybe Kabam have like a shortage of staff. Maybe the kind of the stuff might have happened over the summer period that's kind of been quite testing. Or maybe it's all action stations and everybody's being pulled from one side of the game to another in order to try and get it up fixed and well. Surprising, surprising, surprising. Right, it's time for a bit of a laugh now. As the Diablord meme dies, its inevitable meme death, as most things do, we move on to the next craze that's pretty good, and I love this because I like Googly Eyes. This goes back to something that Seth Green, if you don't know who Seth Green is, then where the heck have you been? So Seth Green was talking about he likes to put googly eyes on things. He went on a talk show in America and put some on his shoes, and it was just like quite funny. I actually bought a load of googly eyes. I don't know what the heck I did with them. But in any case, he used to stick them on things in order to make things look more funnier than they were. And he used to do that around the streets in the US. Look, here's the thing. They've done this with MCOC. So shout out to Hayataku, who starts the craze. first of all, King Groot. There's tons of these. There's better ones than that, but there's Hulk. I think I like them when they've kind of like, they've got like a top end and a bottom end, and then you've got like a face, like a weird kind of face. Hercules just looks weird. I like the way someone put like a fly in the center, just like a proper kind of cross-eyed type thing. I like that. Sasquatch. Doom with his open mouth. Thing with the kind of like eyes up. Dormammu. That's part of the graphics failing and stuff. So I like that. Cyclops is just right in the center with a single googly eye. That's very clever. What's good? Man Thing's kind of cool. Yes, Venom. Oh, that's great, and Carnage as well. Mysterio with a fishbowl. We've got, that's kind of alright. That's kind of fine. Black Widow. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, that's fine. That Nimrod. Yeah, Nimrod. That's what I like, because it's probably like just great. That is really great. A buff one for Thor Ragnarok. That's good for Professor X. What else have we got? Okay, we've got Carl and we got Apocalypse. Sunspot, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. A single one for Nick Fury, like that. Giganto Jr. Yeah, that's Mojo. Yeah, I like that one. That's funny. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yes. That's I Am Groot. It's that's good. Yeah, I love this thread. You can't be in a Dab Lord. No. Do you know what? Those faces remind me of that guy. Oh, what is it? Can you read, my son? I really can't remember what that's from. It's like knocks on the caravan and says, "Can you read, my son?" And he just like, he's there with a big kind of like glasses that kind of magnifies his eyes. It just reminds me of that. The fishbowl one with Mysterio and Magneto. There's a few other ones as well. Keep them coming. Keep them interesting. I'd say the best ones. His eyes are like miles apart. Keep them coming. I think the ones that are most funny. That's pretty funny. The ones that are most funny is the kind of like robotic things, or things that have like weird kind of mouths to them, and then the googly eyes are either kind of like massive or kind of really minute or kind of like small or something. That's usually the best thing. Yeah, like that. like that with Sentinel. Those are the funniest ones. And now on to the final bit of coverage, and that is arena prediction. So as a lot of you know, we have got Nimrod and we have got Masacre coming into the arena this week on Thursday. And I do think that this is going to be a very big test as to where people are going with their grind, and whether or not people will be interested in Masacre, which is an alright champion. It's a pretty good champion. I got it as a 6-star and Awakened. So my predictions are based on the following. Masacre, I think that is a relatively usable champion, and we'll see a 25 mil for the 5-star and a 50 mil for the 6-star. It could be a case that pushes a little higher, but I don't know if it's going to go the same way as Odin did, because Odin is a very sought after champion, as he was in the basic, and pushed like 66 to 70 mil. But I don't think Masacre is on that kind of level. Nimrod, however, not sure with this one, as it's not been seen that this has been overly interested and hyped. It's a good enough champion. I thoroughly enjoyed using Nimrod. I just found that it was a bit of kind of like scuffy on some rotations. But 145 mil for the 6-star, I think that would probably be the case. But I could go a lot lower. And 50 mil for the 5-star version seems like a potential option right there. But we'll see what happens with Sunday and the results. And that has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Wednesday. Thank you very much for watching. And make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Check out Rich's Revolution, my Marvel Future Revolution channel in the center. And I'll see you all later on for another video. Bye-bye.